If you are watching this video, you are most likely interested on pixel art. Maybe as a hobby like I do, maybe as a career. And if you are in this channel, you may also know that Luke, aka Sadface, this guy, has made dozens and dozens of tutorials on this subject to help people get into this amazing community. I actually really started thanks to him, and since then I've met so many wonderful people. So, as a small token of my appreciation, I wanted to make this video showcasing how accessible his content is for people of all levels, while also adding the stuff that I've learned during my really short time in this community. We are going to follow two of Luke's tutorials, the house one and the snow one, and we are going to try break out the do's and don'ts, especially the don'ts, that I experienced while working on it. This video is going to be addressed mostly to people that are new, but even if you have experience, stay around. Okay, so first we're going to start with one of the sides of the house as indicated, except, well, I'm a chat, so instead of finishing the left side as the house tutorial suggests, I jump straight to the other wall. This brings us to our first point. It is important not to only follow the tutorial, but to understand it. Doesn't matter if you start with the roof, the door, the windows, as long as you understand what makes a house look like a house. It's a tutorial to facilitate people's understanding, not a Bible that will send you to hell if you don't follow it exactly as it says. At least I think so. Also, I made this wall 19 by 19. Does this trigger people with OCD? Good. Moving on. Speaking of understanding, here as you can see the reason why the roof is not aligned is to add a sense of depth and perspective on the drawing. Otherwise, it looks like it finishes at the same distance as the wall, and it kinda makes it look like it's a child's drawing. For the next point of the video, this is a thing that Luke suggested to me and has really helped improve my workflow. Instead of working on the same frame, create multiple frames to facilitate experimentation, as well as an easy way to go back on really big changes you might not be so sure about. Yes, I know. I'm working on a single layer, past me was kind of slow that day, it will get fixed in a second, okay? Also, the other possible benefit of doing this is that you can also see the progress you've made so far, and at least in my case, it helps a lot with motivation. Once past me finally reached the brilliant conclusion that working on a single layer might be a bit harder, he moved towards adjusting the colors. Again, Luke has you covered with some other tutorials. I'll leave it to you to search them and study them. Two very important things to remember. Don't go 100% with saturation, and remember to hue shift. Not having our saturation value at 100% will help us save those colors for when you need really strong highlights, while hue shifting helps to make colors look warmer, colder, as well as being able to achieve different colors without the need to mess too much with the other values. Of course, these are techniques for true chats. I don't really feel like the right person to give you proper explanation, as I also don't fully understand it myself, but studying some color theory should help. Or you could ask the community, did you know that Luke has a Discord server? I didn't until this very instant. You should join, I heard there are very nice people. If you are just starting, remember that less is more. I try to keep the amount of colors to a minimum, reusing the same colors for other stuff. Learning to restrain your work's colors and size is a great way to get a hold on the differences between pixel and conventional art. We continue adding some details, just go along with whatever pleases you. In my case, I just did what was on the drawing to begin with. Please don't mind the awful shovel path or the lack of details, we'll come back to them later. Now, this next section is kind of embarrassing. Remember what I said at the start? It is important not to only follow the tutorial, but to understand it. Well, for this next part, I was in a hurry, needed to finish the drawing, I had to just keep the flow, you know? Well, that led to an entire hour of pain. Here's a brief summary. Okay, so in the tutorial is twice as tall as his whiteboard. I can do it like this for sure. Am I doing this right? Wait, no. If I do it here, it gets mixed up unless I use the same pattern one. So it turns out I was the other guy all along. Hey there, Future Rick here. After showing this video to Luke, he told me that he was going to work on a snow tutorial video. Apparently the animation was kind of hard to follow due to the limitations, so that only means one thing. Anyways, back to the video. Long story short, try to understand the pretty drawings. In any case, we finished by adding some details, like some extra details on the snow, some snow on the roof. Then we just need the secret ingredient, spite. And after a little bit more tweaking around, here it is. So what did we learn? I don't know, let's see the diagram there. In all seriousness, if anything of this looks useful to you, please support Luke on Patreon and Ko-Fi, or hire him for commissions. He's a blessing to the community and his tutorials have really helped me to get into this, something I never really thought possible. And just to show why I was so doubtful at the beginning, here's one of my first pixel drawings before finding his tutorials. So yeah, with that nightmare brandished into your brains, it's time to go. Bye.